Good evening. You're watching the news at 7:30 on ATV. I'm Anne Reesam.
And I'm Edna Tse. Here's a look at tonight's top stories.
HKTV to sack more than 200 staff as it launches legal challenge against government over mobile broadcasting license.
Pan-Democrats leave for Shanghai trip but vow to return if protesting radical lawmaker is sent back.
Australian Prime Minister causes confusion with his confidence in locating missing Malaysian planes' black box signals. HKTV boss Ricky Wong has applied for a judicial review to challenge licensing rules imposed by the government that have delayed the launch of his mobile television service.
He's also sacking more than 200 staff, saying he needs to streamline his workforce because of the problems he's facing. ATV's Britton Clennett reports.
After recently appearing to back away from challenging the government in court, HKTV's outspoken boss Ricky Wong has come out with all cylinders firing again. He issued a statement today announcing that he has applied for a judicial review of restrictions imposed on him by the Office of the Communications Authority, or OFCA. At the centre of the dispute is OFCA's interpretation of the Broadcasting Ordinance, which has forced Wong to shelve his plans to launch a mobile television service. Last month, OFCA told Wong he would be breaking the law unless he obtained a free-to-air licence first. As the proposed service is likely to reach more than 5,000 domestic households via rooftop antennas, OFCA says HKTV will effectively be moving beyond mobile services and competing with free-to-air stations, so it needs to apply for a relevant licence. While Wong disagrees with that, he's applied for a free television licence anyway. He's already been denied a free-to-air licence, with the government approving applications by cable TV and PCCW subsidiaries instead last October and sparking a public backlash. On a more troubling note, HKTV announced today that it will have to sack another 207 staff, mainly from the television content production team. The company said it will streamline the scale of its workforce due to the current circumstances. Wong sacked 320 staff back in October, then hired many of them back again when he decided to try a different approach and seek a mobile television licence instead. Britton Clennett, ATV News.
Pan-Democrats who signed up for this weekend's ice-breaking trip to Shanghai left today, promising to press their demands for universal suffrage.
But they're threatening to come back if their radical colleague Leung Kwok-hung is turned away or barred from meeting mainland officials because of his protest plans. ATV's Emily Sue reports.
Some of the 14 Pan-Democrats who signed up for this weekend's ice-breaking trip to Shanghai set off on their journey from the airport this afternoon. They were greeted by protesters who want them to tell senior Chinese officials about their demand for a civil nomination process when Hong Kong elects a new chief executive in 2017. The Pan-Democrats were going prepared. Frederick from the ADPL said he planned to present Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office Director Wang Guangya with this present. It's a box representing the Basic Law and contains a summary of the Pan-Democrats' three-track election proposal to let ordinary voters and political parties, as well as the all-powerful nomination committee, name candidates to run for the city's top job.
And I think this is the first dialogue between the Democrat and the Beijing officials. And we hope through this dialogue we can find our consensus and also the differences.
Radical lawmaker Leung Kwok-hung from the League of Social Democrats was also ready with his props.
I will give these two open letters to the officials that I will meet very soon.
But what may land Leung in trouble is this T-shirt he's planning to wear. It sports the slogan, "The people will not forget," and the iconic picture of the lone protester who confronted a tank during the Tiananmen Square crackdown of 1989. Pan-Democrats say they're worried Leung may be stopped at the border or barred from attending events in Shanghai because of his radical approach. The Labour Party sit-host said if that happens, the Pan-Democratic delegation will stay in Shanghai overnight, but ditch the tour altogether and fly back to Hong Kong the next day. 14 Pan-Democrats have signed up for the trip, so 14 of us will go and 14 of us will return as a group, said Feng. If that happens, the opposition lawmakers will miss their chance to hold talks with Wang and Basic Law Committee Chairman Li Fei separately from the pro-government camp on Sunday. LegCo President Zhang Yuxing yesterday confirmed that the Pan-Democrats will get 2 hours alone with the mainland officials.
I hope that the visit itself will leave a positive impression both among our members and the Chinese government, so that both sides would be more willing to carry on this dialogue, this interchange of ideas.
Half of the Pan-Democrats are boycotting the trip. Emily Su, ATV News.
The Urban Renewal Authority is planning a $1.6 billion facelift for a 54-year-old block of flats in Ma Tau Wai.
But it has to persuade 80% of the owners to agree to the project, and it will spend the next 2 months consulting them. ATV's Arthur Okeola reports.
Staff from the Urban Renewal Authority were at 68A to 70C To Kwa Wan Road this morning, posting notices and surveying the area. This will be the site of the 9th demand-led redevelopment project the URA is planning. It says the 9-story buildings there at the moment are dilapidated and have illegal structures.
It covers about 1,200 square meters with 7 street numbers of buildings. All of them are built in the 1960s. The building conditions of this building is not satisfactory at all. Regarding the roof, we anticipated there are a few illegal structures, but not many.
The facelift will affect 240 households and 8 shops. Arrangements will also be made to compensate tenants in the illegal structures.
Now, for the occupier of the illegal structure at the rooftop, we would use our standard acquisition procedures, which will handle this special area. Occupiers will be offered some sort of a special exclusive payment on special grounds. We will arrange them to move to private rental housing units if they satisfy the requirements of the housing authority and the housing society.
Over the next 2 months, the URA will consult the 129 owners on compensation and then issue conditional acquisition offers. The project will go ahead if 80% of them agree within 75 days.
Judging from our previous experience, we have commenced so far 8 demand-led redevelopment projects. And out of these 8 projects, 7 projects has been successfully implemented. We expect that the owners in this project, which is to be commenced today, that they will decide their own destiny. If they want to implement this project, they should cooperate and early accept our acquisition offer.
When the redevelopment is completed by 2021, the URA says the project will provide 150 small to medium-sized residential flats, along with 830 square meters of government, institution, and community facilities. Arthur Okeola, ATV News.
A well-known microblogger on the mainland has confessed on spreading rumors about Chinese celebrities and government officials on the internet.
But first, a Beijing High Court has upheld a 4-year jail term for a prominent activist convicted of gathering crowds to disturb public order.
It looks like the end of the road for Xu Jiyong, the founder of a mainland grassroots movement that promoted clean governance. The Beijing Supreme People's High Court this morning upheld his 4-year jail term for gathering a crowd to disturb public order. Although the ruling had been expected, Xu, who was convicted in January, remained defiant, telling the court, "The ridiculous ruling will not stop the tide of the people's progress." Xu's offence largely stemmed from several rallies he organised in front of the Ministry of Education to demand equal education rights. According to his lawyer, Xu has now run out of legal options. Also in Beijing today, Qin Jihui was in the dock at the Chaoyang District People's Court for allegedly spreading rumours about Chinese celebrities and government officials on the internet. The 30-year-old, better known by his online name, Qin Huohuo, was charged with fabricating 3,000 rumours in 3 years on the Chinese equivalent of Twitter, Sino Weibo. Some of those he allegedly spread rumours about included popular mainland television host Yang Lan, as well as the former railways minister. State media reported that, to gain notoriety, Chin generated a series of rumours, including one that the central government had granted 200 million yuan in compensation to a foreign passenger who died in a bullet train accident in eastern Wenzhou in 2011. The rumour was reposted 12,000 times within 2 hours and angered Chinese internet users. Chin is the first person to appear in court since the Public Security Ministry last August vowed to crack down on those suspected of circulating online rumours. State media also reported that Chin confessed the charges in court.
Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott says he's very confident that the latest signal found by search teams in the Indian Ocean is from the black box of the Malaysian plane that went missing last month.
But there's confusion after the head of the search operation contradicted him, saying there's been no major breakthrough. Here's Britton Clenett.
Hopes of a breakthrough in the hunt for the missing Malaysia Airlines plane were raised today when Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott said recent signals picked up by searchers were most likely to have come from the black box recorders.
We have very much narrowed down the search area, and we are very confident that the signals that we are detecting are from the black box on MH370.
During a visit to Shanghai, Abbott said searchers are zeroing in on a 600 square kilometre area of the Indian Ocean, about 1,700 kilometres from Perth.
We're now getting to the stage where the signal from what we are very confident is the black box is starting to fade, and we are hoping to get as much information as we can before the signal finally expires.
But a short while after Abbott's announcement, the head of the Joint Agency Coordination Centre, which is heading the search operation, said there had been no major breakthrough. Angus Houston said a fifth signal detected by an Australian aircraft last night proved not to be linked to the ill-fated plane. Dozens of acoustic sonar buoys have been deployed around the search zone to help pinpoint an exact location. Once they've done that, the plan is to submerge an unmanned vessel to take a closer look. That will pose further challenges as the flight beacon may be 4.5 kilometres under the sea. The Malaysian police chief indicated what will happen when the flight beacon is recovered.
Again, we will be leading the investigation, all right? But of course, we don't have the expert to open up the black box and to analyze what are the contents of the data, the voice data and the flight data. We have to get experts to do it for us.
That's if the unit is ever recovered. If not, it may never be known what happened to MH370 when it vanished on the 8th of March as it was heading to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur with 239 people on board. Today's conflicting information out of Australia is adding to the cloud of confusion and emotional rollercoaster ride for the victims' families. Britton Clenett, ATV News.
Still to come on ATV's main news tonight. Mainland visitor dies after falling off railing at Ocean Park.
And police used force to clear remaining anti-government protesters from Taiwan's parliamentary compound.